How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Reveal It here. So if you've been around on my channel for any length of time, or if you just went delving into any videos that I've made in the past, you pretty much know that I'm a decently big fan of Minecraft. I mean, there's the entire Minecraft series that I have that I really haven't made any videos about, mainly because, well, I mean, not much has really happened. And I think, to be completely honest, everyone in that server is just kind of waiting for 1.20 to come out for us to continue. Is that you pretty much know that I enjoy some Minecraft here and there. Hell, every once in a while I just kind of hop on to Minecraft just so that way I can like dick around and like do random shit, alright? I mean, as of right now, my main fucking brain rot is just Rain World, so, you know, you get the point. But this video that we're about to be taking a look at, it's a bit of an older one. It's about 4 months old at this point. It was released around the time in which the bamboo wood block was introduced in a snapshot, and apparently this individual right here thinks that the bamboo wood block is going to ruin Minecraft, or just ruin wood in general somehow. Trust me, it's about as stupid as it sounds. So without further ado, let us sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let us just dive right in. Let's see his reasoning.
Minecraft 1.20 has brought us a new type of wood, bamboo, and it's very different from the other wood types. Up until now, farming wood has always been the same. Plant a sapling, or 4, bone meal it, then chop it down with an axe, or harvest the tree with a big redstone contraption.
I mean, that's quite the jump there, if I'm going to be completely honest. By the way, keep this in mind, as this is quite literally going to be his entire argument. It's this entire Lovecraftian contraption right there.
But with bamboo, things are very different. It's almost identical to how you'd farm sugarcane, so it's much cheaper and easier to build than a tree farm. But not only that, bamboo grows really fast and doesn't need bone meal.
It doesn't need bone meal, as he proceeds to show off the fact that you can use bone meal in order to speed up the bamboo growing process, even though it's not exactly in the sense of, like, bamboo doesn't need bone meal, it's just not, like, a necessity, I suppose. I mean, unless you really want, like, an absolute metric fuck ton of bamboo for whatever reason. You know, I mean, you could just wait for it to grow for all I care.
Player operation needed. This probably sounds pretty nice, right? Bamboo is now the easiest and most convenient source of wood. Well, this is actually a bit of a problem.
Okay, how so? Listen, I'm going to quickly ask everyone out there a very simple question. I want you to keep this question in mind, okay? How often do you end up finding yourself using, like, wood in Minecraft outside of, like, building shit, alright? Like, the only uses for wood outside of, like, using it for building or just to, like, you know, make certain things is, like, I don't know, turning the logs into charcoal, I guess? But I mean, like, people already built bamboo farms because bamboo was just a very quick and efficient fuel source to begin with, and now that it could be turned into wood, I mean, it just kind of makes the bamboo farms, like, even crazier. I mean, again, you'd still have to go out of your way to even make a goddamn bamboo farm in the first place, so I mean, like, who really cares?
As a general wood source, bamboo is, dare I say, too good. It kind of invalidates the other wood types.
I highly doubt that, especially, again, in terms of building. Obviously, in terms of building, you would probably need, like, certain wood. Like, unless you really need, like, a surplus of bamboo wood for building, it's not really going to invalidate anything else. The other woods are still going to have their purpose in building, okay? Except for those idiots that apparently think that birch wood looks horrendous. I don't understand those people. People need to grow up, alright?
Let me explain. To make a tree farm, you need 5 main things. A leaf crusher, big enough to provide infinite saplings, a piston setup to transport the logs, TNT blast chambers or wither cages to break the wood, a control circuit, and item collection. Oh, and you also need to build some kind of skeleton or moss farm to get the bone meal.
Or, and hear me out here, instead of making this non-Euclidean monstrosity of a contraption, maybe instead you could just grab saplings, plant them, and just chop the wood yourself, and not over-engineer the living hell out of something like that.
To make a bamboo farm, on the other hand, you place a bunch of bamboo, sweep it with a flying machine on a timer, and collect the items.
Or of course you could just, like, use an observer. You know, kind of similar to, like, a sugarcane farm. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm not even one that, like, even makes farms in Minecraft to begin with, and even I know this shit.
That's it. No bone meal, no blast chamber, no placing saplings. Now hold on a second, don't tree farms give you more wood than bamboo? What's the issue? Yes, they do give you more wood, but there's still a big problem. With tree farms, you have to stop what you're doing and deliberately farm the wood. With a bamboo farm, you get free wood just by being near it. You can go about your business.
Well, isn't that kind of with almost any farm to begin with if you aren't just a complete Neanderthal? I mean, I guess for the tree farm, I guess you would still need to, like, replace the saplings or something like that. But again, who in their right mind is going to make this, like, iterator computer of a machine just to get a bunch of wood that they probably won't even be able to use within the span of their entire lifetime?
Over time, you will almost always end up with more wood than a tree farm. So now, tree farms really aren't worth the effort unless you specifically want that wood type for your house.
Yes, and that is quite literally a massive point against your entire argument at this point. Like, unless you really want a specific type of wood, there's really no purpose in you bitching and whining about fucking bamboo wood.
But you're probably better off just cutting that wood down manually.
He brings this up and yet doesn't actually realize that that just makes him look like an idiot. Okay, but Jesus Christ. I'm wondering if this video is bait. This video has to be bait, right?
Though then again, manually cutting down bamboo is also easier than cutting down trees. And there's plenty of stuff where the wood type doesn't matter.
Oh yes, the objects that he shows off to demonstrate, you know, objects that, like, aren't really picky when it comes to wood types, are items that you probably won't even make that many of to begin with. Like, be honest here. Like, again, unless you're using them for, like, some sort of, like, really decorative building or something like that, you probably aren't going to make any of those items, or at least you aren't going to make a surplus of any of those things.
So you'd be crazy not to use bamboo. Having a bamboo farm also means you can make scaffolding, an essential building tool.
Okay, again, I'm gonna ask everyone out there, how often do you even find yourself using scaffolding? Like, ever? Half the time I forget scaffolding even exists, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Also, this is another thing that I've only just actually realized now. Jungle biomes aren't exactly the most common biomes that exist in Minecraft. Like, you have to look around for a decent while for you to even come across a jungle. So, like, even if you really, really, really wanted to start a bamboo farm, you still have to go out of your way to even find a jungle in the first place. Unless you're a really lucky motherfucker and you manage to spawn immediately inside of a jungle, in which case, then there you go, you basically just have it handed to you.
Before bamboo wood, there was no clear best wood farm to build, because it always depended on your needs and how much time you were willing to spend building it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure most people, unless they really have an absolute fuck ton of free time on their hands, I'm pretty sure most people are probably with me here when I say no one in their right mind would build this. Or even go out of their way to build something like this in just a normal survival mode playthrough.
Now, there is a clear best choice.
Oh my god, Purple, why are you so against making the game easier? If you hate bamboo wood that much, then just don't use it and let us have fun, you nerd.
I will take comments that would never have even existed in the first place for 500. But I mean, let's be fair here, that is essentially what he's actually bitching about. He's just bitching about the fact that, like, this specific wood type is easier to obtain, you know, assuming that you already have a bunch of bamboo on hand in order to even make a farm and to do anything with bamboo wood to begin with. Like, you know, that's literally what he's bitching about. He's bitching about the fact that this specific wood type is easier to get over the other wood types, just, like, in terms of how fast it grows and how, like, cheap it is to even get.
Well, no. I don't hate bamboo wood, and I'm not opposed to making the game more convenient either. But when something is so decisively better than the alternatives, then we have a problem. It wouldn't be the first time something like this has happened in Minecraft.
I swear to God, if this goes in the direction that I think it's going, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Take player transportation, for example. The fastest ways to travel used to be redstone, ice, horses, potions, ender pearls, minecarts, and boats. They all had their ups and downs. Redstone, ice, and minecarts required lots of repetitive building. Potions needed lots of brewing. Breeding a fast horse was tedious, and it could still die. There was balance. But then came the elytra, which utterly crapped on these other modes of transport. You didn't need to build anything, and you could move much faster in any bloody direction. There was no need for specialized horizontal or vertical travel. What I'm saying is, bamboo is kind of the elytra of wood.
Okay, holy shit, I never thought that this would be a video in which I would also have to defend the fucking elytra of all things. I keep on seeing all these armchair pseudo-intellectual, pseudo-game developers out there, you know, all the way on fucking Reddit and Discord going around and complaining about the fact that the elytra is so fucking broken. But listen, okay, for all of you that still want to huff that copium, I'm gonna quickly splash your face with some cold water here, alright? No, the elytra isn't fucking broken. You're just literally only looking at the one positive that it has without even bothering to pay attention to any of its negatives. First of all, the elytra is an item that, I guess for all intents and purposes, is considered almost an endgame item. I mean, with Minecraft, there really technically isn't an actual endgame, but you kind of get my point. It's an item that you only get literally within the end, and the only way that you can even get access to it is through two different ways. One, defeat the fucking Ender Dragon, so that way the gateway to the Outer End Islands is immediately available. Or two, go out of your way to bridge thousands of blocks to the Outer End Islands. But even when you finally manage to make it to the Outer End, you still have to look around for an End City. And not just any End City, but an End City with an End Ship docked next to it, which is, I think, like 50% of them. So, you're not even guaranteed to even find an End Ship immediately upon the first End City that you come across. And then, once you finally manage to get past all the shulkers and other bullshit that exists within the End Cities, then you get your elytra. And that is the weakest point that I have, you know, when it comes to defending the elytra, when it comes to people saying it's overpowered. Second thing, the elytra literally takes up the chest piece slot, which is quite literally the armor slot where most of the defense for any armor set pretty much goes to. So you have to sacrifice pretty much about like 40% of like your total defense just so that way you can have some increased mobility. And even in order to get that increased mobility, you know, unless you want to constantly make a whole bunch of spires and whatnot, and, like, barely have any control over, like, left and right directions, like, at all, you know, you have to make firework rockets, which require gunpowder and paper. And a lot of them, mind you, if you really want to consistently use the elytra, which, once again, you're probably not even going to use it that consistently to begin with. And then finally, the elytra has some pretty shitty durability, all things considered. Now, for those of you that are going to be saying, oh, but what about mending and unbreaking? Well, allow me to quickly let you know something here. The fact that you need an outside enchantment in order to make an item better is quite literally a point in my favor. And even then, even with unbreaking and mending, you still have to keep on top of the durability so that way it doesn't break on you in mid-fucking air. Alright? And if you don't have mending, well then, you're going to need a lot of phantom membranes, which require you to forcefully give yourself insomnia so that way you can fight the most annoying enemy in the entire game. There you go. The elytra isn't fucking broken or unbalanced. People just need to shut the fuck up. And just like when it comes to the elytra, no, bamboo wood isn't the elytra of wood types, okay?
The latest mangrove trees are a nightmare to farm, since they have really fuzzy growth conditions, they have a random chance to generate beehives, which in Java Edition can't be moved, and they use an egregious amount of bone meal.
Okay, first of all, yes, you can move beehives. You need a silk touch pickaxe and a campfire. Jesus Christ, I don't even play Minecraft that often, and I know that. Second of all, you do realize that, like, bone mealing something, you know, is completely randomized. It'll either take a lot of bone meal, or it'll barely take any bone meal at all. And third of all, the requirements for a mangrove tree to grow are pretty much the exact same as the requirements for literally any other tree. You just quite literally need, you know, like, some dirt or some grass or whatever, and then you just need to bone meal the sapling, and then, you know, there you go. You got yourself a fucking tree. You only need one block. It's not finicky whatsoever. It's just that you're just trying to make a point out of literally nothing.
It's also worth mentioning that a lot of people play on Spigot or paper servers, which break a lot of redstone, including TNT dupers.
The fact that you quite literally need to use an exploit in the game in order to duplicate TNT for your farms is even further proof that, like, there's really even no problem or really no purpose in even, like, making this overly elaborate tree farm to begin with.
You'd have to use wither cages instead, or break the wood manually anyway, which makes tree farms even less appealing. Tree farms only have one real advantage, but it's rather limited. They're more lag-friendly, so the fastest ones won't bring your server to its knees. A giant bamboo farm will do this.
Well, that's of course if you decide to make that weirdly over-engineered bamboo farm in order for you to make your bamboo farm. You can literally just make it just like with the sugarcane farm because it works literally the exact same way. Holy shit, dude.
Relevant for the most hardcore technical servers, so the 0.1% of players who would actually build these complicated, maxed out tree farms in survival. Who in the right mind would build this when they can just spam bamboo and still get all the wood they need?
Again, that's only if they really need a surplus of bamboo wood for whatever reason. But yeah, that's pretty much like the end of the video here. Like, the video itself just kind of ends off with him trying to provide solutions for this complete non-issue at this point, and it literally just ends off with him saying, well, I mean, they could just do nothing and we'll just, I guess, get used to it or something. Which is, well, already likely what is going to happen to begin with, because I mean, first of all, there's no one in their right mind that's going to make a giant supercomputer just to get fucking wood. And also, second of all, like, again, my point still stands. How often are you going to be using just any wood type? You know, outside of, like, building reasons, okay? Like, I don't understand what the entire point of this video was. Well, what have we learned today, class? Well, we've learned that bamboo, yeah, it's not really a problem whatsoever, and people are just completely just going insane over really stupid things. And also, I ended up somehow managing to sneak away to defend the elytra in this video, apparently. I never thought that that would ever happen on this channel, but here we are. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next. And also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, I guess. I have no idea how long that site is even going to exist at this point. And, yeah, anyways, guys, this has been Sanity, and have yourselves a nice day.